Hello, welcome back to the channel. Please do subscribe, guys. Don't be snacks. We are looking at sets in this video. Basically, with sets, we just have a square root which is trying to kind of make your life a bit difficult than it already is. So what you need to do is to try to find out how to get rid of that thing, which is a square root. Okay, so here's the plan. There's a part of the question which is a square root. That part or term, you just need to take it to the left and take everything else in the equation to the right. Basically, just isolate it. In the first question, you can see that the part with the square root is already on the left hand side alone. That means it's isolated. So what you need to do now, you need to just square both sides once that is the case, right? This is what we're going to do. We just square both sides. That is how you get rid of the square root sign. Okay, so just like that. Then now we are left with x plus 3 on the left, and then on the right we have 9. Okay, therefore x is actually equals to 6. That is 9 minus 6. Oh, 9 minus 3, not 6. Okay, and the last thing that you need to do, you just need to check if your answer is actually valid for the question, because when you have a square root, chances are that value of x that you got, when you put it in the question or in the equation that you were given, you might find that within the square root, what you get, that value there, it's maybe negative. And if it's negative, that means the square root of a negative number which is undefined. It basically just means that that answer is not valid for the question. Okay, so you're just gonna check that if it's valid. For the left hand side, which is that of the square root, we're going to substitute our 6 plus 3, and then we get the answer, which is 3. The right hand side is already equals to 3. Therefore, that means the left hand side is equals to the right hand side, which is equals to 3. Therefore, that means in our case, x is actually really 6. That makes sense. Then we leave it there. I hope that makes sense. Sorry. So in the second question of B, we have this square root part which is not isolated. The first step is just to isolate it, just like that. Okay, and we're gonna have x moving to the right. That means it's gonna be positive x. What am I doing? That negative 3 is still negative 3. The negative x becomes positive x. Okay, now that it is isolated, the part with the square root, we can square both sides. Okay, when we square both sides, what are we having? We have x plus 3. Okay, that is equals to x minus 3 multiplied by x minus 3, like that. And then we can now just simplify. This is going to be x squared minus 3x minus 3x, that's minus 6x plus 9. Okay, and then we have x plus 3 again. That is okay. Now let's now simplify further. To simplify further, I'm just gonna move all the terms on the left to the right, and then I flip everything. By flipping everything, I mean what you'll be having on the right will come back to the left. Okay, so let's move everything to the right. Okay, this x, we move it to the right. With the 6 going to be negative 7x, and this 3 to the left, to the right, we have 9 minus 3, which is positive 6. Then we have 0. Okay, so from here we just need to find the factors. You can use the quadratic formula to solve for x, or just write the factors even though you are still using the quadratic formula. So the factors will be x minus 1 and x minus 6, like that, all equals to 0. As a result, x minus 1 equals to 0, or x minus 6 is equals to 0. Thus, x equals to 1 or x equals to 6. Okay, you have two answers. You still need to check. This is basically what we do when we're dealing with sets. Okay, the left hand side, we're going to substitute again in our famous first equation. Okay, this is for x equals to 1, and then we're just going to put 1 plus 3, okay, minus 1, like that. Which answer do we get? When last did I see my calculator? I'm not sure which answer you will get, but definitely the answer is going to be positive 3, I think. Okay, is it positive 3 or negative 3? Okay, let me just calculate the answer, because I don't see the calculator. 1 plus 3 is 4, square root of 4 is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, and then the right hand side is given as negative 3, and therefore we have the left hand side not being equal to the right hand side. As a result, x cannot be equals to 1. That solution is actually invalid. Okay, so for x equals to 6, what are we having? The left hand side is going to be equals to the square root of 6 plus 3, okay, minus 6. So the square root of 6 plus 3, that's the square root of 9, which is 3. 3 minus 6 is negative 3. The right hand side is already given to us as 3. There you have it. Therefore, the left hand side is actually equal to the right hand side, which is equal to negative 3. Therefore, the solution of x equals to 6 is valid. So this one is valid, this one is invalid. Then you leave it there. You are done. Okay, let's look at this other last question. So I'm just gonna move it a bit here. Okay, now that it is isolated like that, it's one-on-one. Okay, what do we do now? Again, you just need to isolate the part with the square root. This part with the square root, okay, is this part. Okay, like that. And then that means you just move this x to the right, it becomes positive x. And then the positive 3 was still there. So we are still where we started. Okay, now you can see that we are eventually trying to remove the square root by squaring both sides, but this 2 is actually something that we can get rid of from here, but getting rid of the 2 by dividing by 2 just creates a fraction, which it's another problem that we don't want. So actually let's just square both sides. That's better than having a fraction. Okay, when you square both sides, 2 squared, that is 4, and this x plus 3 remains there. Okay, I hope I'm not losing anyone at this point. Okay, and then this x plus 3, which we had on the right hand side, is just going to be written like this. And then when we simplify, now we have 4x plus 4 times 3, that is 12. And then on the right hand side is x times x, which is x squared. 3x plus 3x, that is 6x plus 9. And then now we are cruising. Okay, actually, but it's fine. Let's cruise. We have 0 at that side, then we'll flip it again. But certain things are a waste of time, so let's just write things properly. Stop wasting our time. Plus 2x, that's 6x minus 4x, and then 9 minus 12, that is minus 3. Then everything equals to 0. Okay, now that we are here, we just need to write the factors. This is x minus 1 as well as x plus 3. You can use your quadratic formula to find the factors. If you don't know at this point, let's try to pray for you. Tell us in the comments. Okay, and that will therefore mean x minus 1 equals to 0, or x plus 3 equals to 0, and then x equals to negative 3, or x equals to 1. Okay, now that we are here, we need to check if these answers, they are actually valid for that equation there. Okay, so let's do the check. This is how we do the check, the same way we did the check for the previous ones. For x equals to 1, we're going to check the left hand side. We substitute that 1, so basically we have to start with that 2 that is there, that 2 there. So 2 square root of 1 plus 3, okay, minus 1. What does that give you? The right hand side, it's already given to us as 3, and then this is going to be 2 times 2, which is 4 minus 1, that is 3. Okay, so it therefore means that the left hand side is equals to the right hand side, of which is equals to 3. Therefore x is actually equals to 1. Is a solution. Some people like writing something of this nature for these questions. So even for that one, you can write it like that or write it like this, whichever one you prefer. I think the B8 gang won't be that angry. Okay, for x equals to negative 3, we still do the check. This is 2 square root of 3 plus 3, okay, minus 3. What do we get? The square root of 3 plus 3 plus 3 is like 6, okay. Oh, we need to substitute negative 3 there, not positive 3. So this negative 3 plus 3, that's 0, 0, 0, 0. Then we get negative 3. I think that's basically 0. Yeah, square root of 0 times 2, something of that nature. We get negative 3 actually. The right hand side is given to us as do we get negative 3 or positive 3? Let me see if I'm substituting things the right way before I lie to people. Okay. Oh, here I'm supposed to substitute this in brackets, as you can see there. Otherwise I'm going to get my own things. At the right hand side is given to us as positive 3. So actually the left hand side is actually equals to the right hand side, and that is actually equal to 3, which therefore means x is actually equals to negative 3 is a solution. Some write it like this, or some just leave it here. You will find it, or you'll find out from the B8 gang which one they prefer, but so far either one I think is fine for me. Okay, that is it with sets. I showed you the different types of examples. From here we're going to do simultaneous equations. I'm going to give you I think 2 or 1 example, then we are done with this topic of algebra. We move to other things. You let me know which other things you prefer to start with if you are that brave. Okay.